All right, guys, just a few weeks ago, we made a video on this channel that stated 30 plus WWE superstars who were released from their contract. And as you guys know, that list actually became like 50 plus or more pro wrestlers or announcers, commentators in WWE. And that list was actually pretty interesting because there was a lot of names realistically WWE didn't do much with. And of course, as rumors started to fly, there was a lot of names being rumored to sign with AEW. And this name was often brought up in those rumors. But today we know on Impact Wrestling, she will be making her debut for the company because they aired a vignette. Now, most importantly, before I get in today's news, I do want to let you guys know that we are doing a lot of awesome things with Destination Pro Wrestling. After Memorial Day weekend, we got a chance to relax, back to work, but no big deal. Lots of pro wrestling news. So make sure you guys subscribe, and shout out to everybody who has become a new DPW member. Now, with that being said, guys, we're talking about Deonna Purrazzo. She has signed with Impact Wrestling, and this is very, very interesting due to her connection with AEW. A lot of people were expecting her to sign with AEW, and I kind of want to get to the bottom of this as to why she may have not signed with AEW and why Impact Wrestling is her home. Now, guys, it is important for you to know that Impact Wrestling is still around. In fact, we're going to continue bringing you more Impact Wrestling content because last week we started it off, and it's one of my favorite pro wrestling shows on a weekly basis. But last week I decided to make content, and a lot of people enjoy it, and a lot of people enjoy Impact, and I honestly did not expect that. But Impact is still there, and Impact does have money. A lot of people think that Impact cannot sign big free agents, and that is somewhat true, in my opinion. From the outside looking in, I would say Impact, obviously does a lot less business than AEW and WWE, but their business model is very different. And the one thing that's very intriguing about Impact is their tape library. I've said this multiple times. It is one of the main reasons why I continue to subscribe to Impact Plus, because they have so much awesome content. And on top of that, Impact has really good creative writing. So people often rule them out when it comes to free agent signings. In fact, I even thought Deonna Purrazzo had a chance to go back to ROH. And the whole thing with her in WWE that was really just unfortunate was no matter how many times we saw Deonna Purrazzo, even on the main roster portion of her career, it was really weird, but they kind of like had her job out on Raw. Every time they did that, you could just tell WWE didn't see anything in her. It was an observation that I think so many people made, especially on social media. It was like WWE knew how good she was, how talented she was, and it seemed like they knew she had potential, but they weren't willing to do anything else. And I think that was very apparent when WWE decided not to pair her up with Rachel Ellering and Chelsea Green. But for whatever reason, WWE makes mistakes and they don't learn from them. I'm not saying, Deonna Purrazzo is going to be the biggest name in pro wrestling, but what I'm saying is she's a good women's wrestler. And honestly, WWE releasing them, AEW not signing them, now it's really good for Impact to be on the low side of the radar. Like a lot of people rule them out, a lot of people count them out, but the one thing that Impact does that I think right now when it comes to the women's wrestling, that's their thing. Impact is really, really good with their knockouts division. I would say their knockouts division is very, very stacked. And I think they handled their knockouts division better than the way WWE handles their women's division. And it sure as hell beats the way AEW does it. And it's not because of the writing. It's not because of the talent. It's just something about the appearance of Impact that the women are taken a little bit more seriously. More quality matches. I'm not sure what it is. But it's something about their roster, and skill set is very important. And for crying out loud, guys, remember, Impact's world champion right now is Tessa Blanchard. So they really, really value the women in their company. And I'm not saying WWE and AEW don't, but Impact has always been consistent with that women's division. That knockouts division is very, very, very influential and inspirational. And I think Deonna Purrazzo is going to fit very well into there. Look at these signings that AEW and WWE have made in the past year. AEW has been around for 1 year, and AEW has brought in a lot of great talent, but they're not being used. And that would have scared me with Deonna Purrazzo. If Deonna Purrazzo would have signed with AEW, my fear is maybe she wouldn't be used. So why didn't AEW sign her? A lot of people feel like there's a connection to her and the company. Obviously, she was invited to All In. That never worked out because she was with WWE. But if you think about all of this stuff, the only reason why she didn't go to AEW, that's something you're going to have to find out from her. But the one reason why I think she didn't go to AEW, to be honest, I don't think AEW even paid attention. And I don't blame them. But AEW's women's division could be so much better. And I'm just not sure if it's a focus. That's been my issue with AEW. I think they have a talented roster. I think they have so much awesome stuff going on. And I just think that part is left out just a little bit. I think that's going to change. I think that was very clear the minute that they put the belt on Hikaru Shida. I think that is going to change. But now it is too late for them to sign Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna Purrazzo going to Impact, to me, signifies a really, really good focus for pretty much all aspects of the company for Impact. Because now, if we're going to compare and contrast, we got to be fair, right? AEW doesn't have a fantastic women's division. It's getting there. It could be great, but it's not great yet, right? But they have a stacked tag team roster. And they book tag team wrestling so incredibly well. When you look at Impact Wrestling, their tag team champions are incredible. The North would be incredible in WWE or AEW. The reason why I don't think they're incredible in Impact is because tag team wrestling is not really a big focus in Impact Wrestling. So although Impact has an awesome knockouts division, their tag team division struggles. AEW, on the other hand, has a weaker women's division, but tag team wrestling is clearly the forefront of their company. It's very interesting stuff, but Deonna Purrazzo is going to do some big things with Impact. I, for one, would like to see what they're going to do, especially with Taya Valkyrie, Su Yung. Everything with Jessica Havoc and Kiera Hogan, and now you have Kimberly. You have Smiley Kylie. This is a really good women's roster. So Deonna Purrazzo is going to be making her debut, and interestingly enough, she's going to continue being the virtuosa. So that is something that she's kind of carried with her all this time. Kind of a letdown, man. I honestly did not think WWE would mess that one up. I think when WWE had announced that they signed Deonna Purrazzo, I think they had some potential there. But when you look at WWE's focus on women's wrestling, their focus has always been Bayley, Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte. When that's your focus, when your focus is on 4 women, you forget about Naomi. You forget about Nia Jax, and you forget about all those other names. Dana Brooke. And for those who criticize Nia Jax or Dana Brooke or, some of those other names on the roster, whenever you criticize a wrestler, just understand that WWE at that aspect, they don't really do much to give them an opportunity. We're starting to see it a little bit here and there, but women's wrestling is never really being taken serious because WWE has like 3 or 4 in the forefront of it, and everybody else is just filler. That's the way it appears. We're starting to see a little bit more focus now with Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, the Iconics. Dana Brooke is finally starting to get some momentum. Tamina even coming out of nowhere getting some momentum. But imagine if WWE just really focused on all those women. Imagine if they really focused on Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo. You have women tag team championship belts. You're telling me you couldn't even give them a storyline for that? I thought that was the purpose of those women tag titles. It was going to be defended everywhere. It's just sloppy by WWE, and AEW, they're improving. But Impact has the best women's division, I think, hands down, all around. They really highlight everybody. But they struggle in some other areas. So there's no such thing as a perfect company, guys, but I really do respect Impact for making this signing because I'm intrigued to see what they do. I'm really intrigued. I personally am excited to see what they do. I'm interested. I enjoy Impact Wrestling, but now more than ever, I am interested because I want to see what they can do with somebody who also couldn't succeed in WWE. There's a couple names that come to mind, but the biggest one that comes to my mind is EC3. We all saw what EC3 did in Impact. He became a star. I think Deonna Purrazzo could be getting her big break. And for whatever reason, AEW was not interested or did not make an offer or did not sign her. I don't know. I don't know those details, but whatever that was, I thought it was a given she was going to go to AEW. The fact that it did not happen, I think Impact is going to show everybody why they missed out on her. And that's a good thing. So good luck to Deonna and Impact. I'm excited to see what happens, guys. This is Destination Pro Wrestling. I'm bringing you guys my opinions on the latest news and rumors in pro wrestling. And make sure you guys click that subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to 30,000. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.